Lifesaver. We are recording now. Okay, guys, part 2, we're making the sauce. We're getting ready to fry the meatballs, but in addition to frying them, we're also going to use the air fryer. So I already have the balls ready to go. I am using these sheets I got on Amazon. They're parchment sheets. I just like it for easy cleanup, but I'll be honest with you, this is a very easy thing to clean because these go right in the dishwasher, the trays. But I just like to use these sheets. Makes my life a little bit easier because if I'm making multiple stuff, and I have a really good tip for you that my girl Tina just told me. The drip tray on the bottom, I'm gonna take whatever falls on here and pour that in my sauce too, because this is the magic. The drips from everything is the magic. Did that close up on me? I know you did. All right, so now we're just gonna go to air fry, and I'm gonna change the time down to 14 minutes. And it's gonna beep when it's halfway through, so I know to switch the 2 trays. And that's it. Let it do its thing on air fry, okay? That's gonna be working while we're working here. So now this is nice and hot. Whatever meatballs I have left. So I had 18 balls in there, so I'll tell you about how many meatballs this made. 19, yeah, I'm going right in. I'm crazy like that. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It makes a lot. Can you imagine when I do 7 pounds, how much I get? What was that, 28? Something like that. All right?
You gotta count too?
So I'm gonna leave this here because you're gonna see what's gonna happen. So all you're doing is crisping the outside, okay? So you wanna watch it. You don't wanna burn it. You're crisping the outside. Now, you're probably going, Caryn, these are not Pampered Chef. I told you, I'm very crazy with what I use to do this because it's what my mom gave me and taught me. It's like sentimental. So I use these, and of course it's stainless, so it's not gonna ruin it, but these are the best. These are the best in the world, guys. You all know. I know you got a lot of you have them down, up, all right? So I have those going on. So you're gonna watch them, but I like how this scrapes the bottom. And we'll flip it around. See, no, it's supposed to see already. Look how quickly. You just want to give it a little brown. Flip it. We're just crisping the outside. You want to be using nice hot oil and crisping the outside. That is going to hold all the moisture in. That's why I don't, understand the whole throwing the raw meat in, because you're not going to get that delicious crisp. And I'm telling you guys, the air fryer is completely comparable. And I'm telling you this, right or wrong?
No,
Using the taste test.
Yeah.
It's, you know me, I'll tell you the truth. Just like I'm showing you that I do this with these, like, I'm not even kidding you. Okay. I probably did a little bit too much oil because I usually do a lot more meatballs in here. I'll do the whole bottom, but I wanted to show you how many meatballs that fit. So what's going to happen now is I am going to fry these up. Then we're going to take them out of the pot. After you get the whole outside nice and crisp, and you're going to put them in a bowl. The stainless steel bowls are the best. And all that juice, the fat, the juice from it are going to settle to the bottom as you're making your sauce, because that is super important. You are not draining this. This is not low fat, guys. We're not. The only way you're going to save fat really is if you use the air fryer, But trust me, this is going to make it good. This is part of it. So then I just zhuzh them around a little bit. Nah, I want it crispier. Sometimes you just do 2 sides. Sometimes you'll see a very raw side. Just fry them up. Let me see your meatballs, guys. Come on. Let me see yours. See you guys working hard there. Woo, those look good. Those look good. So you didn't cook yours yet, Shelly? I can't hear you.
I had a frying pan going on. The pan.
Ah, so you gotta pour it back in.
I have to seal it, so I had to change it to a pot.
All right. That's why you gotta have nice long tongues. See how I'm just getting the edges that aren't crispy yet? See, honey, now you're learning. You can do this.
Filming? Yeah, absolutely. I can learn how to film. That's a great idea.
So spoiled. So spoiled when it comes to food, right? It's all right. That's how I spoil them. Food is love. All right, just getting crispy around the edges. We don't want them burned. I put way too much oil in this, though, I will tell you. So I'm just letting you guys know, for a small amount of meatballs, this is too much oil. I should have went thinner. But I'm used to I do normally like 3 batches, that's why. So I went by what I normally do. But I'm letting you know, go thinner with the oil. Are you guys all using olive oil? Yes? Okay, good. Yeah, with less oil, it will crisp up faster too. So really quick, let me just show you, moving forward, we're gonna start doing is tomato puree, tomato paste, crushed tomatoes. Start opening your cans if you have not already. Get that done. Yeah, I just want a nice crispness on all sides. And see that little one? That's mine. You eat that. I didn't even have breakfast yet. Coffee, no, nothing. How am I even functioning right now is beyond me. All right. All right, we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. See how they're staying nicely together? Are your meatballs staying nicely together, everybody? Joanne's going, no, no. So it might be the ratio when you feel that meat. Maybe too much milk, maybe too much egg, maybe not enough breadcrumbs and cheese. We'll get you there. You're my adopted Italian girl from New York. All right, we're getting there.
Want to ladle some of the oil?
I will once we take all this out, because I don't want all this oil in the sauce. It'll be too oily. Any questions, anybody? Anything in the chat yet? No. All right. So this is getting there where I want it, just nice crisp on the outside.
I'm running a bit behind.
Take your time, because I'm going to start just showing you some products really quick while I let this cool. So this one's good. See? Oh, yeah. All edges just have a nice crisp on them, okay? Got all the edges have a nice crisp. Oh, the halfway mark on my air fryer. Guys, all I'm gonna do here, over here. Look at that. And you see the juice on the bottom? I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that juice. Now I'm just going to switch the trays. Because see, the one on the bottom didn't cook as good. So now you switch the trays halfway through. This is going to go on the bottom. Any fat is going to continue to go to the bottom. And we're just going to shut it. It's going to start up again. And that's it. How easy is that? Than standing over, getting the grease in your pores. I'm telling you. But I can't get away from doing it this way. Right? It's how I learned, but I will make changes, and this makes it so much easier, the air fryer. So again, this meatball is perfect. I want to check them. Beautiful.
In the air fryer, did you have to put any kind of oil on that parchment paper?
Nothing.
No? Okay.
Nothing. That's why, okay, so that's the main reason why I like the parchment paper. Okay. Not even for the cleanup, because I find the cleanup in the air fryer to be really good because of the drip tray, and then they just go in the dishwasher. But for the sticking purposes, if I did not put the parchment, I feel like it would stick to that metal grating. So that's a great, great point, Marion. Thank you. This one I want to cook a little bit more. I'm very particular. Ooh, this is going to be the one I'm going to eat. I want it crispy. I want it crispy. I want it crispy. They used to be singing around. He's making faces at me like, what are you doing? This is me. So wait, really quick, I want to show this off to you guys. I love this tool turnabout. I don't know if you guys have seen this from Pampered Chef, But look how cool. It has the hidden spoon rest in it. Isn't that fun? So when you're cooking, you have your hidden spoon rest and it holds your tools. So this is just some tools I wanted to show off. I love this fish spatula. If you guys cook any fish, it's like flexible. This is an awesome, oops, see now it's getting a little crazy. That's why I should have my splatter screen so I don't burn my face. But you know what, they're pretty much.
Karen, I have that tool holder, the turntable thing. I didn't know it had the spoon rest.
Girl, come on.
I have it, it's full. I didn't know it had that.
Are you serious? Guys, Marion's a consultant too. You're getting punished for this. So guys, this is the splatter screen. Normally, this is what I do. I leave it on here so it's not splattering all over my face.
And cameraman.
And cameraman and on my stove top. And I love this. This is another great product, guys. All right, so let's take this off now.
She's doing. Oh, sorry.
Oh. Hi, Diana.
I'm sorry. I had an impromptu visit from my sister. She came from Manalapan, and they were all outside with masks on. I apologize.
You said hi?
Oh, I'm so sad. I missed it.
I'm recording.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I am recording.
Karen, I found it.
Okay. Yes, it's just on the side. It pulls out.
I had no idea.
And did you know that the top part comes out too?
Yes, that part.
Now, if you want to like move around and bring this over here and that over there, or use this separately, you can.
But I think I need like 3 of these for all my utensils.
They're the best. They're the best.
I need like 3 of them.
So while this is cooling off, because I do want to drain off some of that oil. I told you I put too much oil because I didn't fry as much as I normally do. Come over here, Bri. 2 things that I want to show you guys. The electric wine bottle opener, because we always need our red wine. I do put a little bit of red wine in my sauce. You can use cooking wine. I don't have any cooking wine, but I do have red wine. So this forces me to open a bottle right now. And then of course I have my garlic already, because this is where I'm gonna go heavy with my garlic. And again, it's a preference thing, all right? So let me show this off real quick for those of you guys that are not familiar with it. This is the electric wine bottle opener. The base that it sits on is your foil cutter. So you're just gonna go around and around, and it's gonna open up the top. How cool and easy is that? And then now you just push down on this. You ready? So easy to open your wine. Boom. And then to take it out, push it the other way. And it even lights up, so if you're drinking in the dark. Look at that. No cork is gonna go in here. And now, the most important thing on Sunday when you're cooking, there's no rules against it. You're allowed to have a glass of wine, okay? So everybody, if you have wine, by all means, join me for a little vino at, I don't know, noon.
Without any food in your stomach.
Cheers.
On an empty stomach.
I know. I'm getting scolded. And then we're going to be doing the garlic stuff, but I'm just going to show you really, really quick because we're letting this cool right now. We're letting those meatballs finish. So we have our garlic pressed, okay? And it's really a preference thing what you want to do, if you want pressed garlic or you want slices. In my sauce, I like to use slices, but some people want it really fine, so you're going to use pressed. But just to show off, you're going to use this with the peel on. If you have the Pampered Chef garlic press and you're not using it with the peel on, then you're doing yourself a disservice, right? So I'm gonna do that. Let's move these meatballs, the oil. Oh, I need like, you know what? We could pour it in here for now.
You want me to do?
No, I'll do it. Let me just pour out some of this oil. It's too much. But
Ladle it out?
I don't wanna, no, it's not enough to ladle. That's the problem.
Tip it and ladle it.
Karen,
Yeah,
are we fully cooking the meatballs or just us?
just the outside, not fully cooking it. That's the,
Tip and ladle it.
yeah, no. I don't want to get rid of all that good stuff. That's the problem. I just want to get rid of some of the oil. I overdid the oil. All right, this is good. So you still want a layer of oil to make the sauce stuff, all right? We're still using oil. Oh, and my meatballs are already done with my air fryer. How easy is that? 1 minute left. I'm going to show you. This thing is amazing. I'm really, like, honestly, it is amazing. Does anybody have an air fryer? Forget my consultants. I know my consultants got it. Does anybody have an air fryer, whether it's Pampered Chef or not? Diana, you have one. It has the drawer, the basket.
I have the turning basket, and then the 3 shelves, and then another basket. Right, Becky?
Oh, you
Which
got
one's
a
the one?
Mac Daddy one. Oh, good.
I have the
use it a
turning
lot?
basket. It's a rotisserie and everything that you could do French fries in. It's amazing. Let me tell you, I love
That's
it.
what we have. Now look, I want all that oil to go in. I want it
Wow.
all to
Caryn.
go in.
Can you show me your meatballs?
Yes. Hold on 1 second. Well, are you looking at the other screen? My husband's got it on them.
Yeah. I just saw it. Okay.
So again, I don't want to lose that juice.
Oh, look at
So
that.
you
She
said
did the
that
air
was
fryer. She
14
did the
minutes?
meatballs. Oh, I didn't mute it. Sorry.
Karen, is that 14 minutes in the air fryer?
14 minutes. I don't want to
So
overcook
but
them.
the 14
rotate it
minutes
over.
is not cooking it through, right?
It's not cooking it completely, but honestly, it does cook it enough that I would eat them. But I didn't want them too cooked.
We rotate it.
Okay.
Yes, we rotate at the half-minute mark. And then look, Tina gave me this little tip. She made sure I didn't forget. You want to take the juice on the bottom. Don't waste that, okay? That is flavor town, okay? All right, so that's in there. And you see the comparison between the one that I fried and that one? Really, there's no difference. Honest to God, in the way it tastes, there's no difference. So now, going back to my garlic.
It's on my cart.
I want to show you. I'm not going to do this one. I'm going to do this. I told you I like slices. But again, it's a preference thing, guys. So you're going to use the tube. This is a garlic peeler and slicer. And this is going to take the peel right off. And then we're going to use more than that. I like a lot of garlic. But who likes a lot of garlic too?
Me.
I love garlic.
They're all muted. They're like, we're behaving. I'll tell you
Well,
what.
you know
You
you
guys are
Latinas
amazing.
like garlic. Come on, girl. You
I
know.
love garlic.
You know what? I did a party once and the whole family hated garlic. And I had to not use garlic during my show and I was twitching. I'm not even kidding you, I was twitching. So I'm filling this right now with garlic. So now notice I just turned this off. It's still kind of hot. I don't want to burn it. Super important, guys, you don't burn your garlic. Otherwise, it's going to have that weird taste. So I start, the oil is still a little bit hot from shutting it off. I do my garlic first, and I turn it on because I want to be ready with everything else. Have your cans of sauce open because you want to be ready. So look at all this garlic. I love it. I want it all. I'm going to put more in later, too. This is the one I'm frying up. And then I put fresh in, and it melts into the sauce. But again, it's a preference thing, how much garlic you like. But I'm telling you, this is Flavor Town right here. All right. Now we're going to turn this back on. And we're just going to zhuzh it around a little bit. Those are my professional words, zhuzhing, right? We're going to wait till it starts to sizzle. And when I hear it starting to sizzle, I'm going to be adding the tomato paste. Okay, now it's starting to sizzle. So now I'm going to take the paste and we're just going to dump it right in there. And as the garlic is cooking, I'm going to mush this around with the garlic because I don't want to burn that garlic. How cute, the little spatula gets everything out. The little baby white spatula, guys. My consultants, feel free to give me the right words. This is my spoon from my mom. Again, I use my wooden spoon. This is my sauce spoon. And as I'm doing it, notice I'm scraping the bottom and I'm getting all those bits up. This is where the magic is happening right now, guys. This is why I can't tell you how to make it. I got to show you. You want to make sure you're scraping all the bits and you keep moving that garlic around with the paste and just getting that flavor, the olive oil, all this deliciousness, the smell. I'm gonna stick my face in it. I'm not gonna do that because I'll burn it. Kathy's laughing at me. What's my chat here? Are we putting the meatballs in the pot when we're ready? Hold on, I don't know. We're gonna get the tomato puree going now. I already opened it with my can opener. The puree, it's thick. So we're starting with a thick base. First the paste, then the puree. And this is when I'm gonna use my Pampered Chef, because guess what, guys? You wanna get every last bit out of that can. And if you guys have these scrapers, you know it's gonna get every last bit out, right? All right, so now again, we're mixing this. And you're getting all those flavors going, right? It's like a thick paste right now, and it's got the garlic. And now we're gonna put a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna get some of my seasonings again. My Italian, a little bit of Italian seasoning, a little bit more of that 3 onion rub. You can't go wrong with that, right? Mix those in. And this is where I'm gonna add my wine. Because the thing with cooking with something like alcohol, you want it to cook down. It's for flavor. You know, I don't want to get the kids drunk. So we want to just cook it down a little bit. So now I'm going to take my wine. I don't know. What was that? 2-3 tablespoons? Just a little bit. A little love for the sauce. Mix that in. And it's all going to meld in together. Keep mixing it. You want to lower your flame. You don't want it boiling over right now. You don't want it going crazy. We're just mixing it all in together. All right. Put down the wine. Sorry. And now we're gonna move on to the crushed. Now, I don't love it with the basil. I like it plain because I like to add my own. And I normally like fresh basil. If you have fresh basil, by all means, guys, put some fresh basil in there. I do not have fresh basil. I could not get my hands on fresh basil, so I was kind of glad I had the crushed that had the basil in it. But if you have fresh, my goodness. But you're not going to add fresh basil to the end. I will get into that in a minute. But since it's in the sauce, I'm just going to dump the crushed in. I want to see the chat. Hold on. I hate making sauce, but you have me in the mood to make it. Too late now. Maybe next week. Tina, you're so funny. How do you make your sauce? Do you do anything different, Tina?
I follow my mother-in-law's kind of recipe, right, Jen? Because you probably do it the same way your mother did it. We do onions first.
Okay.
So onions, and we put pepperoni in it.
Oh, okay. See, everybody does it their own way. That sounds like it'd be delicious.
Yeah.
And I was
and
telling
then I
them,
add the meat.
I don't really do fresh onions. Now, if I do onions in this, I like shallots in my sauce. If I do use onions, you could do onions in the sauce, and you would do that around the time when I was doing the garlic. You don't want to burn it. So if you do want onions in your sauce, my kids don't really like the onions in the sauce, so I don't do it. Sometimes I'll put green onions, which I actually do have. I don't know why I didn't do it. I forgot I had that. But that's fine. I turned it up a little bit. I want to, just stir it all in, get it going. Like I said, this is a very small batch I'm not used to. I'm used to a big pot like this. Now, here's another thing you could do, and I'm going to add it, and I know you guys are going to be like, you didn't tell me to get diced tomatoes. I have no other sauce cans. So sometimes I will add something like diced or the big peeled tomatoes. The can that comes with the peeled tomatoes, the whole tomatoes. And what I will use to break them up is, where is it? Oh, it's over there. I don't want to reach it. My mix and chop. So I will go in. Who's got that? Somebody's got diced tomatoes?
That's you.
Oh, that's it. Oh, my God.
Few sips of wine, it's all over. From this point on, the sauce is not, the recipe's off.
My Pampered chefs know this, too.
Oh my God, someone has the same kitchen as me.
Well, Shelly's kitchen is very similar, right, Shell? We were looking at our countertops. So sometimes I like to throw diced in just to give it a little body, a little chunkiness, or you could throw the whole tomatoes and then use your mix and chop to break it up. So you know what? Just because I want to make more sauce, I'm going to add this as well. If you don't have it, it's okay, guys. All right? Oh, Kathleen lost out on the wine. Yes, you don't need to have the wine. I'm just giving you my little tips. If I have the wine, I will add a little bit, and you want to do it in the beginning just to burn off the alcohol, but we're going to add that in. So I'm going to do diced. I'm going to thin it out a little bit. You're going to dump the whole thing in. So a nice chunky sauce. I like to do that. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have drank on an empty stomach. I am a lightweight. All right, so now this is going. So now here's the thing, guys. The longer you let this go, the better it's gonna be. That's why I like to start really early in the morning. I usually do earlier than this. When my kids wake up, you wake up on a Sunday, right, and you smell it. I like to have it going all day. So you wanna have this on like a medium to simmer, you know, and then let it come to a little boil. And I'm gonna let that go for a while. I'm not adding my meatballs just yet. I'm gonna let this go for a little bit. I'm gonna leave it open, or I can cover it, or I can put my splatter shield. So sometimes if it starts bubbling, you don't want it everywhere. And I'm gonna let this go for a little while. Let the sauce, the garlic, all the seasonings, all that flavor meld together now. Then at a certain point, I will add this entire thing of meatballs, including all the fat and the juices on the bottom. So if you fried in another pan, please do not throw out the juices and the fat. Put it right in. It's gonna all go together. And the longer you let this simmer, let it simmer all day. Make sure you come and stir it every once in a while, but you're gonna throw all this in, the juices, the meatballs, place them in nicely, and let them simmer all day. And the flavor is gonna keep coming out in this. But right now you wanna leave the sauce alone for a little bit. Let it do its thing. And then you're gonna add this. And just let it simmer, guys. And that's it. That's really about how long. There is no, it depends. If I'm home, I'll let it go all day. I really don't care. Keep it on simmer though, and stir it every once in a while. Now, when you're stirring it with the meatballs in there, obviously do it gently. Don't be like, and breaking them up, because then you have a nice meat sauce. But, you know, you just want to kind of go gently and let it simmer. Just keep it on simmer. But right now, we want to let the sauce do its thing. We want to just let it go. I'm going to look at the chat and see if anybody has any more questions. I don't have puree, but I have 2 cans of crushed. That's fine. That's fine. If you don't have wine, do you have cooking wine? Then that's fine. You don't need it. I just said sometimes I add it, sometimes I don't. It depends on my mood. Feel free when this is done, if you have pea protein enrichables, you can add it. I don't do that till the end, like maybe when I'm heating, like right before I'm gonna serve it, I will mix it in the sauce after I take the meatballs out. You can do that to add extra protein to your sauce if you want to. Okay, so you can show everybody. If you have fresh basil, add fresh basil, but do not add the fresh basil till probably, I do it in the end. I do it when there's maybe like 10, 15 minutes left. If you want to, you know, chiffon it up little bits, or you want to throw a whole leaf in, and then at the end you can take it out. Or I like to eat it. If I'm the lucky person who gets it in my sauce, in my pasta, I eat it. I love the basil.
Caryn, with the basil, I use, I have a fresh frozen chopped basil, and they come in little cubes.
Look at that.
And they're like a tablespoon. A teaspoon. Each little cube is a teaspoon. Would I add this at the end as well, or?
That you could probably add in the sauce when it's cooking.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's like fresh frozen. I'm just saying, if you have like a fresh leaf, okay. I like to throw it in and leave it on top, and then just like stir it in and leave it. And that's usually how I do it. But it's not it's not gonna be wrong if you throw it in the beginning, you know.
Okay.
Shelly, you had a question. I know she's like multitasking here. Oh, Sherry,
yes, Sherry. Can I use cherry wine?
Yes. So it's funny. Shelly also asked me about sherry, and so did Kathleen. So yes, you could do a little bit of sherry. It's just gonna give it a flavor. It's gonna give it a little bit.
How much of it?
Like a tablespoon.
And I wasn't paying attention when you said, when do we add the wine?
Do it in the beginning. Do it when you're doing, after you've done like the tomato puree.
Okay.
Do it then, because it needs some time to kind of cook off. That's when I would do it. Now, I'm a big fan, again, because I'm a bi-eye cook, I taste as I go. So if you're not having a nice thing of bread, you can dunk it and taste it. See, does it need more salt? Does it need more pepper? If it's a little too acidy, sometimes, and again, because I'm using a different kind of diced tomato, along with the one I usually do, if it's too acidy, add a little sugar. Okay, so I will tend to sometimes put a little bit of sugar in here. So as I'm going, I'm gonna taste it. If it seems like it's a little too acidy, I'm telling you, a tablespoon or 2 of sugar is gonna make a huge difference in your sauce.
How much garlic did you add? How many
Of what?
of garlic?
Oh, whatever your heart desires. Let it talk to you. Let it come from inside you. I don't know. I think I did like 4 cloves.
Okay.
You could go, like if I have my big pot, I'm using a lot more. I don't want to kill everybody, but I love garlic. If you don't love it that much, you know, that's really up to you. Go along, taste. Don't be scared to taste and try and say, maybe it needs a little bit more salt. Maybe it needs a little more pepper. And the flavors are going to change as this sits. And then the flavors are going to change again once you put those meatballs in and the flavoring from the meatballs. So let this go, you know, enjoy it. Shelly, when we do your call later, I'm actually going to be going live. I got to clean up and do her live. I'm still going to have this simmering. This is going to be until dinner time. This will be on, and that's just how I've done it. That's how I was taught to do it. So it is an all-day labor of love. There's no that's why I make a big vat, because I don't always have the time to be home and letting it simmer all day. Anybody else have questions? Yep, taste by dipping a good chunk of bread. That's right, Kathy. I'm right there with you. A nice piece of bread right in there. I might actually bake bread today. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. I got a lot going on. We'll see how I'm feeling. So, yep, Sunday is a great cook day. Well, we're all home right now, so, you know, this is the time to make this stuff and freeze it. If I can get my hands on some more sauce cans and more stuff, I will definitely be making bigger vats. I usually have containers frozen in my freezer for quick and easy grabbing. But like I said, this is all I had now. So I hope this helped. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you learned something. I do not add water. Whoever just asked, I do not add water. I like it nice and thick. The juices from the meatballs is gonna thin it out as well. Plus I put the diced tomatoes in there that had the natural juice, and I thinned it out a little bit. I don't add water. You don't wanna take away that flavor. You know, you don't wanna water down that flavor. If anything, you want that juice from the meatballs. That's gonna, the natural fats and the oil. This is not skinny, Kathleen. We can't all be skinny.
Here's all your juices.
Here's all my juices. Look at that. Brian's showing you the juices. Look at those juices. Don't you spill those juices. I'll kill you. That's gold right there, those juices. That's what you want. You want it sitting in the bowl for a while so those juices come out. You're going to take those meatballs. You're going to place them with the tongue. I will then go with my Pampered Chef kitchen tongs, because they're nice and gentle, not like the other ones that it'll rip at it. I do it nice and gentle, and I place them around. And then I pour that juice in. Oh, yum, yum, yum. All right, guys. If you have any other questions, always feel free to reach out to me. I hope this was helpful. I hope your house smells as good as mine does. Yes, you want to let them simmer as well. You're going to let those simmer because they're going to cook in there. And then like maybe an hour before, I will actually take the meatballs out, or you can leave it. And this is when you're going to serve it and have it nice and warm. You know, it will stay moist in there. They're not going to overcook because they're cooking in that sauce. So they're not going to overcook.
Question, when am I putting the meatballs in the sauce?
You know what? You want to let the sauce simmer for a little bit. You want the natural sauce flavors right now to melt. So give it at least an hour.
Okay.
Add the meatballs. So go do something, you know, my busy lady. Go do what you got to do. Just keep it on simmer. You don't want it all bubbly, too bubbly. You want to keep it low on simmer. You want to just kind of let those flavors go. And then eventually you're going to add those in and then let those release their flavors. And it's all going to come together. Taste it throughout, guys. Don't be scared to taste.
So as the meatballs are in, I'm keeping them on simmer.
Yes, you're going to still keep it on simmer. You don't want this over boiling. You don't want it cooking down too much.
Fry it
This
up,
is
right.
just to keep it, so it's going to keep it warm and it's going to keep the flavors going. All right. Are you guys excited? Are you all eating them today?
Today.
All right. I'm supposed to wait, but we're going to have one.
I'll be posting mine.
All right. I want to see. All right. I'll see you in a little bit, Shelly. And thank you guys for joining me. Hopefully you guys will do one
Thank you
too.
so much, Caryn. This was awesome.
All right,
Thank
awesome,
you.
guys. Thanks for cooking with me. It was nice to be social.
Thank you. Yes, it was nice to see even the faces I didn't know. Thank you. Everyone take care. Be well.
Be well,
Bye.
everybody. Thank you.